All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Living the Dream podcast. We are back at it with Proverbs. I had a slew of guest interviews there, so I wasn't recording Proverbs for a while, but now we are back. Today, we're going through Proverbs 8, chapter 8, verses 25 through 29. Let's get it. Before the mountains had been shaped, before the hills, I was brought forth. Before he had made the earth with its fields, or the first of the dust of the world. When he established the heavens, I was there. When he drew a circle on the face of the deep, when he made firm the skies above, when he established the fountains of the deep, when he assigned to the sea its limit, so that the waters might not transgress his command, when he marked out the foundations of the earth. So that's Proverbs 8, 25 through 29. So for you guys who haven't listened to these episodes for a minute, I like to go through my interpretation, then I like to go through the entrepreneurial application and really the self-improvement application of it. And we're kind of switching it up a little bit with the entrepreneurial application. I think there are really 10 phases to getting your life on track for the majority of us. You know, if you've already done these 10 phases, it's more tactical things like marketing, like sales, like networking or scaling, stuff like that for business stuff. But really, I think these 10 phases apply to those as well. So phase one is identifying limiting beliefs. Phase two is identifying and releasing the negative feelings associated with those limiting beliefs. You got to find clarity in phase three, cultivate those abundant beliefs in phase four, get the positive thinking and generating the positive emotion going in phase five. And that's taking care of your internal environment. Then your outer environment is conducting a time audit to make sure that your time is being put to good use, right? Like, what is the purpose behind each 15-minute block? You need to take daily action in phase seven. You need to measure your results in phase eight, and you need to take care of your physical and environmental health in phase nine. That means you need to be working out, you need to be eating right, but you also need to be around people that are inspiring to you. And you need to inspire yourself when you look in the mirror and be inspired by the people and the things around you. Phase 10 is in cutting negative influences and building positive influences. So, the difference between phase 9 and 10 is really like inputs, like information, right? What am I getting from my podcast, my books, the TV I'm watching, all that good stuff. And then phase 10 is specifically relationships. Who has a negative influence on you and who is positively influencing you. So I think the personal side of things, the personal interpersonal side of things really need to focus in phase 10, whereas like phase 9 is everything else that is inspiring you or not inspiring you in your life, physically and environmentally. So those are the phases, and we're going to tag each entrepreneurial application to that phase. And so for today, Proverbs 8:25 through 29, my interpretation of it was wisdom has been there since day one. And for the entrepreneurial application, it made me think of phase, that was drum roll, phase nine. And phase nine is physical and environmental health. And I just was like, there's wisdom intertwined in everything around us. So since wisdom has been there since day one, and we're looking around at our physical health, our environmental health, like our body has a lot of wisdom just trapped in it. Our environment around us just has a lot of wisdom trapped in it. And that looks like getting a cue from your body that your stomach hurts, so you shouldn't have eaten what you ate, or realizing that the cycle, the rain cycle, right? The water cycle, how water just cycles through life and like ebbs and flows, and there's wisdom in that natural cycle, just like there are natural cycles in our life as well. And so where has this shown up in my life? I would say with the new job, I'm working in person and maybe a bit of a grind with the commute, but the culture is great and it gave me the perspective I needed. For the longest time, I was stuck thinking that jobs couldn't be good, that work couldn't be good, and looky here now I am saying that a job isn't that bad. Like, I don't dread going into work. I'm not going insane about the fact that I have to show up to work every day. And because I see people come in and they're enjoying work, they're having fun with their colleagues, they're building relationships. And, it may not be the container that is going to help me produce the impact that I want to produce, but it has taught me something that will be needed to take advantage of that container. And I will continue to learn as I can make the impact that I want to make. And so that's where it's shown up in my life recently. Never thought I'd enjoy a job so much. I'm not saying it's the end all be all, but I am saying if I wasn't so entrepreneurial, if I wasn't so ambitious, it would be the type of gig where I would stay for the rest of my life because that's how good the culture is and that's how good the thing I'm doing is. Where do I want this to show up in my life? I want to create an environment around me that cultivates love and wisdom. And so some of that wisdom that's just around us in our physical health and our environmental health, I want to um, create an environment physically, emotionally, and environmentally for me and for the people around me that reinforces those things, right? Like wisdom has been here since day one. We have a lot to learn from wisdom, just looking at nature and looking at how our bodies have evolved. Let's create an environment that's conducive to that. Let's create an environment where we're healthy together and where we pursue good, solid things together consistently and embrace the cyclical nature of life together, bear burdens together. That's the type of environment that I want around me and that I want to create around me. And how can you guys apply this to your life? Look around. Like I've been saying this whole podcast, notice the small things and the reasons behind how people behave. And, inputs equal outputs, inputs equal outputs. So when you get a certain input as an individual and it goes through your system and machine of your beliefs, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, and your results, it produces outputs. And so you can see wisdom in the environment and get direction from that wisdom based on how people are responding to certain stimuli, how you respond to certain stimuli. And the important thing here is having something to compare it to. So notice the small things in your current environment, but then switch up your environment and do the process again, and then compare and contrast the two environments. And you'll realize that, you know, you hang out with some broke people, as most of us have done our whole life, and they're looking at the bill. They're tipping 15% on the dot because they don't want to make somebody's day. But you get around the right rich people, you realize they tip maybe the price of the meal because they want to make that waiter's day and they don't look at the bill because they're not stressed about that. So it's little things like that that you notice that stack up and you start to see which environment is more conducive to me getting to my dreams and goals. And that's how you can get wisdom from it, wisdom and direction from observing your environment and then catering to your physical and environmental health. That's how you guys can apply it to your life. Start creating that environment around you. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you on the next one. That's all we got for you today. And on that note, we're out.